How Not to Brony 4. This is FNG Star! And let's get to the drama.
Dreams to get into the Rift Cafe. Like, really, the Rift Cafe was the only reason you exist on this planet was to get into the Rift Cafe, a Skype group chat. Well done, sir, well done. Not only did we throw you into the Rift Cafe, we threw you into the old Rift Cafe, you know, the one that just is shit, and you jumped up from your chair, your computer chair, and ran around the house screaming like a kid on Christmas morning, and it was hilarious. We were making fun of you in the mod chat, and it was fan-fucking-tastic.
This week's drama includes Pastelprose, whose latest video on Brony Richter got the living shit smacked out of Richter. And I don't mean in a role play or in a video. The grapevine has it someone IRL literally walked up to Richter and cold-cocked him and said, and I quote, "This is for Pastelprose." I'm horrified and jealous at the same time. Pastel, friendly reminder, with great power comes great responsibility. Now get back to work on that Astral Ace video. Now, here's a word from Dulcet Tones. Does everyone hear that? That's Dulcet Tones in every goddamn call. Meanwhile, from the other side of the tracks, gang, Secret Dreamer was found on Mindlessgonzo's channel.
I don't care. He looks like a meth version, like of a Juggalo. Oh God! And they're like, oh geez, Yowie time. I don't know if you're old enough.
Oh, but that's just getting too creepy.
This is rape. This is rape.
Oh hello.
This is rape.
Doing a cringe compilation with Gonzo and Molly. For shame, Secret. Word on the street has it old Gonzo might be doing a cringe video on the autistic pony. Pure scandalous. Harumph, sir.
You know, I was curious, you know, to meet other people and stuff like that, and then, you know, I forget how it happened, but he got really super defensive when people were, like, suggesting other things for him to critique, or, like, give his reviews as analysis, and I said, why not try something out of the box? And so I messaged him Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I gave him Tim Curry's Sweet Transvestite. His straw hit the floor! Oh my god. But
so you rather take the idea of mental disorders over Tim Curry? Dressed up as a sweet transvestite?
Here's the thing. He thinks that it will inspire. I get totally inspiring people that feel like they're blocked by their disabilities. Don't get me wrong. I got a few of them. I probably have Asperger's and my brother fucking has autism. But you don't market it as a fucking thing. And get this free autism. You want cerebral palsy? Come get it down for $2.99.
You don't use it as an excuse, you dumb fuck!
In other news, ToonKritic has jumped on the tinfoil hat circuit, claiming the Hasbro's obsession with Lunar by oversaturation. Well, she is in 33 episodes in some capacity. I've certainly heard crazier theories. And let's end on a strong note. Dr. Wolf, Lauren Faust, and BABScon.
Staff, and I thought it was really good that she was visiting with a lot of the kids and answering their questions and posing for pictures. Now, Lauren couldn't be on camera even for just a few seconds because I would assume that she has some contracts that she's trying not to make anyone upset over. She did pose for a picture, and I'm glad that she did. But the thing that really got to me is that after the picture, she says to me, "Thank you for commenting on the show." And as I'm walking off, I didn't think much of it at the moment, but after a minute, I stopped and realized, wait a second. Does Lauren Faust actually know who I am? Or has watched any of my videos? Or really any of the analysis videos in the community? And that was a very sobering thought.
Now, skipping over the earlier part where Dr. Wolf plays with his plushies, this is the biggest whopper I've ever heard. Dr. Wolf, this is the best lie I've ever heard as a brony, ever told. Let's break this down. Wolf establishes that there is no footage of himself in Faust for believable reasons. It's a little weird seeing as how John Delancey has taped interviews floating around, but even still, Faust's contract is likely fairly different. Even though you might think it odd where she'd have these stipulations even though she's on a recorded panel from BABScon. And here it is.
Staged today in front of all of you, the creator of the show that brings us all together, and many other wonderful things besides. Just a little note, we're going to do this in a bit of a format. The first 60 minutes or so is going to be, well, probably a little bit less now since we're starting a little late, but first we're going to do a segment of pure interview, and then we will do fan Q&A. So get your questions in your heads. A couple things though. Please don't ask Lauren, what does she think of seasons 3 through 6?
Still, contracts being what they are. And then there's this video.
Hello.
Oh, fine, be that way. Leave us alone.
We'll just get off. Yeah, thank you for everything, Lauren.
With Race and Saber finally meeting Lauren Faust, where ACRacebest and Saber Spark filmed Lauren Faust at the very same con. Still, with all due respect to Saber and Ace, because of the position of the camera, maybe Lauren didn't know she was being filmed. It happened very fast and the situations vary, but Ace and Saber strike me as veteran enough guys to have asked for release on the footage. Still, who's to say? Here's the kick. Wolf's wording on Faust thanking him for commenting on the show, and then her reply, does she watch analysis videos? Or the community's analysis videos? This is a tasty lie. Dr. Wolf just offered us that if we believe him, we could all be in on it. Who knows, maybe Lauren might even watch one of your Brony analysis videos. I recall hearing in a video that Tara Strong said that she's still on talking terms with Lauren, but they don't talk about Pony at all. Now that footage is likely very old, and yes, Lauren is still at a Brony convention today, for business purposes, I assure you. I know what you're thinking, well, why should we trust you, FNGR? You can't even find that footage. Well, let me play you a little clip here.
Please don't ask Lauren, what does she think of seasons 3 through 6?
Did you notice it very specifically spelled out not to ask Faust about seasons 3 through 6, meaning she's only wanted to comment on her involvement in the show, which removes her for at least 3 years from the cycle of this, which would be very much in line with my statement of her distancing herself from the show. Mr. Wolf, let me cure you of the disease that is known as hope. For someone who hasn't bothered to even watch MLP in 3 years, it's laughable that she would bother with Brony analysis. With all due respect, it's much more likely, based on the panels or her peers, that someone tipped her off who you were. Or more likely that you saw a golden opportunity that fell into your lap. See, the last part of this lie that makes it unbelievable is thus. When you said, it didn't occur to me at the time, and I might buy that, I'm absent-minded myself, I'd likely let that totally pass over my head. But what I would do after I gain my senses is to try and find Miss Faust afterwards to clarify. There's literally no reason that you couldn't have found a way with your resources, be them through your connections or financial, and don't get me wrong, I understand social faux pas, but playing up Lauren Faust here as an absolute authority, as a giant massive deal as you are doing here, if you considered her as important as you're saying you are, you would make an attempt to have bumped into her again over the course of a period of 3 days. Or, and this is far more likely scenario, you had a stroke of brilliance with no footage, you could play with a casual off-the-cuff remark, maybe fudge what she said, maybe she said something more along the lines of, thanks for commenting on my panel. You sat down and spun that to make yourself seem infinitely bigger than you are. See Doc, you know your ego knows no bounds, you literally have a channel on the facade, you're curing the fandom, curing the main cast, which in turn robs them of the flaws that made them great in the first place. Just how you drag down the review half of the fandom by offering them spots in one of the most terrible fan works, so goddamn awful that it would make Minty Root blush, in a vain effort to put yourself over with Analysis Anarchy. All the while bringing into question, what do these people know about quality if they agreed to be part of Analysis Anarchy? Lauren Faust watches you. The same Lauren who doesn't watch the show anymore watches you. Guffaw. My god. I take it back. It's a terrible fucking lie. You'd have to be a fucking moron to buy that. Anyways, this is FNGR saying, cool story, bro. Good night and good luck with that one.